Lesson 72, Factoring Trinomials. One way to factor a trinomial is by using algebra tiles. Now, let's see, trinomials of this form, x squared plus bx plus c. I forgot that in the title. Okay, so let's do an example, x squared plus 3x plus 2. Now, an algebra tile is basically, if you had a square, we actually call that x squared because it's a square with x on both sides and the area is x squared. For the x tiles, it's an x by 1. So this is still x and that's 1. So this is x and we have 3x. So we're just going to do another one and another one. And then plus 2, and a 2 is just a 1 by 1, and we need 2 of those. So what we try to do is we try to arrange these in such a way that we have a rectangle. So if I have my square here, and let's say I put the x tile here and here, notice that if I put an x tile long ways at the bottom, and then I have my 2 1 tiles like that. Now I have a rectangle. And we can look at the lengths here. So this is x, and this is 1 plus 1. So this is x plus 2. And then going down this way, we have an x plus 1. So we have here x plus 2, and we have here x plus 1. So we just factored our trinomial, x plus 2, x plus 1. So that's one way, is to use algebra tiles. Now another way, just looking at the trinomial, we look at the constant, which is c. We want two numbers that multiply to get 18. And this is a positive 18, see the plus sign? But those same two numbers have to add to get a positive 9. So it's kind of like a puzzle. So two numbers that multiply to get 18. Well, let's see, we have 2 times 9, but when we add 2 plus 9, it gets 11, so that won't work. We could do 3 times 6, and when we add 3 and 6, we get 9. So this is it, 3 and 6. So in parentheses, we would put x at the beginning of each set, and we had a plus 3 and a plus 6. And the order doesn't matter how you write it. Now what if we had an x squared minus 9x plus 18? So we need two numbers that multiply to get 18, but add to get negative 9. So we could look up above and see 3 times 6 added to 9, but what if we had negative numbers? Negative 3 plus negative 6 would be negative 9, and isn't negative 3 times negative 6 equal to positive 18? So those are our two numbers that we want to put in parentheses with our x's. We have minus 3 and minus 6, and it is now factored. Okay, so here's another example. X squared plus 5x. Oh wait, I wanted to do plus 3x, sorry. Plus 3x minus 10. So again, we want to multiply, get a negative 10, and we want to add to get 3. So because this is a negative, you're going to have one negative number and one positive number. So let's look at negative 5 times 2. That's going to give us a negative 10. And if we add negative 5 and 2, we're going to get a negative 3. So that one won't work. How about a 5 and a negative 2? 5 plus negative 2 would give us a positive 3, which is, this one works. So we have 5 and negative 2. So in our parentheses, we put x, we put a plus 5 and a minus 2. And it's factored. Now you might have a trinomial that has both x's and y's. What you want to do when you separate your parentheses is you're going to have an x at the beginning, and at the very end you're going to have a y. But you still look at these numbers. We want to multiply to get 6 and add to get positive 5. So 6 is 2 times 3. You can try that. And if you add 2 and 3, you get 5. So it is a plus 2 plus 3. So you have plus a 2y plus a 3y. And if you were to multiply it out to check, so you can check your work by multiplying the two factors together. So let me just show an example here of this one. So if you did the first, you'd get x squared. The outer, you'd get plus 3xy. The inner is plus 2xy, and the last is plus 6y squared. Then when you add the like terms, you get x squared plus 5xy plus 6y squared, and that's what we started with. So we factored correctly. And that's the end of the lesson.